Hi there, how's it going? This is Cross the Rubicon channel. I'm here in Nelson and I'm just walking up a very steep hill to the centre of New Zealand. Now this video is not about this hill or the centre of New Zealand. This is about what I believe is really going on with these smaller parties in New Zealand and political movements. I believe there's a major act of duplicity going on, that these people are hiding from their supporters. If you look at the Freedom and Rights Coalition Party, which is, well, led by Maori, and the upper echelons of that movement are Maori, and they don't seem to want to share any power or give anybody else a voice in that coalition party. I use the word coalition very lightly because Carl Bromley, who's running for Christchurch Mayor, who is part of the freedom movement, is a big player in the freedom movement, a big name and a big voice. He's not been given a chance to speak at the rallies in Christchurch, and they won't support him in his run for mayor. In fact, they're quite hostile to him running for mayor. Which I think is bizarre. And then you've got the Outdoors Party. The Outdoors Party leader is, I believe, Maori. And now she's invited another leader, or invited a co-leader, who comes from the Maori Party. The Maori Party, by the name only, is a party based on race. Therefore, by definition, has to be racist. Now this person who's come into the Outdoors Party is all over YouTube and Facebook calling people white supremacists, far right extremists, colonialists, white privilege. She uses these terms all the time. And now she's the leader or co-leader of the Outdoors Party. Funny enough, this party doesn't support Carl either. Doesn't give him a mention to be the Christchurch Mayor. Now they know Carl. They all know Carl. They know who he is. So why won't they support him? Here's the cruncher. I believe. I might be wrong. Tell me in the comments. These people who are leaders of these parties and movements are Maori. So wouldn't it suit them for Hepuapua 3 Waters, Hepuapua we're talking about here, which is basically the New Zealand version of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Now, Maori are indigenous to New Zealand. They came here 800 years ago by boat. That's not indigenous, but that's besides the point. So Hepuapua, basically, and we're going through Hepuapua right now. It's happening right now in New Zealand. A coup is happening right now that we don't even know about. Look it up, a coup. When a small group of people forcefully take over governance of a nation. Hepuapua is going to give, there's no stopping this. This is happening. There's no stopping it. It's going to give elite Maori 50% governance in New Zealand. 50%. So a small minority of 16% of the population. So a minority of a minority. So these are the elites of that 16%. Are going to get 50% governance in New Zealand. So do you think that the leaders of these two parties, at least that I've mentioned, do you think it's going to suit them to want Hepuapua and Three Waters? Three Waters is basically as well, via the Hepuapua document, giving Maori control of assets. Everything to do with water, all kinds of water. Ownership of all water, all assets, and all infrastructure worth billions. So what I'm suspect of is that these people, these leaders, just may want Hepuapua and co-governance because it's going to be so much easier for them to get into government, because suddenly somewhere between 14 and 16% of the population are going to have 50% governance. So basically, if you're a Maori elite or a leader of one of these movements, it's going to be so much easier for you to get into government and be a leader of the Maori side of government, which is 50%. Because as it is, they've got next to no chance. The said people I've mentioned, I've got next to no chance of getting there. So to me, now this is the centre of New Zealand. Look at this. It's beautiful, isn't it? Now I know this video is going to upset a few people, but I don't particularly care. Because I've got a reputation for saying it as it is, and I'm not about to give it up. These people don't want to talk to me, they don't want to know me as it is. So I've got nothing to lose anyway. And this is not out of spite. This is my suspicion of them. It's going to be much easier for them to get in government when Hepuapua kicks in. And they, how's it going, right? And they stand to benefit big time. All Maori are going to benefit, but especially the elites. Now some of these people, well, I'll tell you what, these people don't even slag off or don't even criticise Hepuapua Three Waters. Why is that? Or even if they do you think they're being genuine? Are they saying it just to get your votes? It's going to suit them. It's going to benefit them. So why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want it? Carl Bromley's running for Christchurch Mayor. And some of the things he's running on is anti-Hepuapua, anti-Three Waters, anti-apartheid, anti-racism, and anti-interference from central government, amongst other things. Now, these people won't support Cal at all. Don't you think that's funny? Don't you think that's suspicious? And then you've got the Golden family from North Canterbury. You know who they are, I'm not going to mention their name. Who've got a daughter who's a journalist, who won't touch Cal Bromley. Won't go near him. I wonder why that is. Is that snobbery? These people aren't Maori. Is it snobbery? Now, I've spoke to this person. Won't go near Cal Bromley. Even though he's a freedom fighter, one of the most prominent freedom fighters in New Zealand, and yet she won't even interview him. Won't promote him because she might get censored. Got to consult with her team. Honestly, that's what that person said. But to date, no contact with Cal Bromley. And the patriarch of the Golden family of North Canterbury was once the leader of the New Conservatives. Cal Bromley used to MC some of his meetings, would you believe? They used to be mates. But now, won't even talk to Cal Bromley. Won't even talk to him. I wonder why that is. This ex-leader of the New Conservatives put out a video just a few nights ago saying on Facebook, you can look it up, but I'm not going to mention his name. You should get into government. You should run for council. You should run for mayor. Get in now. Made a big video about this. Didn't mention Cal Bromley's name once. And Cal Bromley was his ex-mate, or is his ex-mate. They were very close. So what's gone wrong? Why aren't they supporting Cal Bromley? He's not going to benefit from Hepuapua Three Waters. So what is it? An act of snobbery? Is it because they think if they mention Cal Bromley's name, they're going to get a knock at the door by the police? Or they'll get kicked off Facebook or YouTube? If that's the case, then they're cowards, aren't they? Absolute cowards. I'm just telling you my thoughts. So, I think, yes, there's duplicity going on here, and I think these two parties I initially mentioned, Freedom of Rights Coalition with a very, very, very small c, a microscopic c. Just wait for these people to go past. And the Outdoors Party, they're led by Maori. Outdoors Party, a radical extremist. The best thing for them ever is going to be Hepuapua. The best thing ever. Hepuapua is going to put all those said people, I haven't said the names, but you know who they are, is going to put them in Parliament. Is that going to suit all non-Maori in New Zealand? Do you think so? Do you really think so? No, it's not. They will become super elite. Do you think they'll remember you? You non-Maori who support these political parties and movement? Do you think they'll remember you after? When they're getting all the benefits, their children, their grandchildren forever are going to benefit Because Hepuapua is all about race and division. It's separating New Zealand down two racial lines. Where Maori, dare I say it, all Maori, but especially the elites, are going to benefit on everything. If you believe this isn't true, then maybe you should read the Hepuapua document. Now, a lot of people call me a lot of names. I'm beyond caring, I'll be honest with you. So there it is. I believe they won't support Carl Bromley for Christchurch Mayor because he's against Hepuapua, three waters and apartheid and racism. When they want it in law, and it will be in law. And when Hepuapua comes along, and there's going to be Maori courts, Maori judges, Maori lawyers, a Maori judicial system, and they will have sway over everything. Because don't forget, and this is a very key point, that when they get 50% of power, automatic, that's a given, they will stand Maori candidates on the other 50% to run for government on the other side. Do you think this isn't going to happen? So that 50% will become 60 or 70%. That's what's going to happen, people. 16% of this country, or the elites of 16% of this country, are going to have about somewhere between 60 and 80% of the power, not 50%. So who, if you're a Maori elite, why wouldn't you vote for it? You'd be mad not to, wouldn't you? Okay, this is Cross the Rubicon. Tell me your thoughts. This is not me being a white supremacist like the media say, politicians say. This is me being real. It's just you haven't woken up to it yet. But you will do. When it hits you flat in the face and you're a second-class citizen in the country you were born in. Okay. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe and share everywhere. See you later.